Welcome back to Cyrus B Reviews. I just wanted to show you guys what I'm working on today. I just barely started this. This is a project that I'm thinking about doing for like when I take pictures and stuff of my figures. I'm gonna use this for background. So what I'm gonna do basically today is these are foams. You can find this stuff like on TVs, it holds the TVs in place and prevents the TVs from getting all banged up. So got a couple of these and I thought these were pretty interesting. Instead of just throwing them away, I like to recycle stuff into something that I can possibly use. And I did the same thing with back panel thing that I use in my Star Wars shed. I found this panel and it's for a TV, kind of like the other one. So I decided, well, instead of just throwing it away, I'll just use it for something, I guess, pretty interesting. So I got that, and I'm going to do something similar to that. I'm going to weather this stuff, and I'm going to use this plaster. It's for the like sheetrock plaster and joint compound. So I'm going to use this and kind of like splash it on here, kind of put some spots on here, and then I use this rag right here so I can give it some texture. So hopefully this will come out pretty interesting when I take pictures. It'll give me something like a background to use. Take pictures for Instagram. I'm not anybody really that got great photos, but I do like taking pictures of my Star Wars figures, so I thought this would be kind of interesting to do like a background, like buildings and things like that. So let me get on to this. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is use this sheetrock plaster, or whatever this stuff is called, and I'm going to grab a spatula or something and place it on here in different little spots, then use the rag and so I can give it like this texture, and after that I'll paint it up. Let me show you exactly how I'm doing this. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I do Funko Pop reviews, Black Series toy reviews, Black Series helmet reviews, and sometimes little projects like this. So if you'd like to hit that subscribe button, hit it down below. So let me get started and adding some of this plaster on this foam. Okay, so I said I was going to use a spatula, but I'm just going to use my hands. Makes it a lot more fun. So what I'm just going to do is kind of splatter this all over the foam. So before this dries, I'm going to use a towel so I can leave this imprint onto the foam. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all sides from the same way, so I can have multiple looks for the same piece. I can use it like this, use it like this, sideways. I'm going to have to cover this up, but you can have different looks with the same panels. So basically, you see how interesting that is? So basically, I'm going to do the same thing to all the corners of this styrofoam. Okay, so this looks very messy, but that's the point. You kind of want to cover up some of these. I'm not sure if you can see right there, those little marks right there. And if you don't cover it, it'll look just kind of like manufactured, and you know, it doesn't look right. So kind of want to put some texture on it. And now what I'm going to do is grab this rag and I'm going to start blotting some of this I don't know what you call this stuff. This putty stuff. So what I'm going to do now is grab my towel that I have and start blotting on this board. So what I'm basically doing, just kind of blotting it down to give it some texture, and to also to bring down some of the spots that are too high, just like that right here. Just do it as you think looks best. So there we go. As you can see, this side can be a wall, this side can also be a wall, so you can have different looks to a wall. It could be like this. Actually, this is a very boring side. I have to need I need to do this side, but you know, you can turn it sideways like this and put your figure this way. So after you texturize it, I have a couple more to do, but after you texturize it, you can go in there and paint it. But before that, I want to put blaster holes in some of these, so it can just kind of look like it's a used universe, and you know, there's battles and stuff. Some of these walls probably got scarred, so I'm going to do some scarring with you know, a nail or something. You know, make some holes and do some gouges on this foam. I use a nail and this little thing right here. Just made little holes around here. Makes it look interesting. I did the same for the back, because, you know, like I said, you can use this for multiple walls. So however you want to use it, and so you'll have blaster holes in different spots. So now what I'm gonna do is just kind of let this dry, because I think I'm happy with this side. So I'm gonna show you what's next after this dries. So another thing that I'm doing is besides the blaster holes, I'm scratching it up and taking some chunks off, like if it's the building's like deteriorating. But I think this looks pretty good, and now I'm gonna do plaster and covering these markings up right here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let it dry off, and then tomorrow I'll start painting it. I think I'm happy with how it's looking so far. Alright, today's painting day. This is where the fun begins. We got this tan color paint. I use this for the interior of my shed. And then now the plaster, or whatever the stuff is called, is completely dry. So I'm gonna start painting now these parts right here. So I got a brush, just a simple brush, kind of wide, but it's not a really big brush. I'm gonna use this brush here and just start spreading that paint all over the place. So let's get into this. Oh, before I start, I gotta knock off the excess plaster that's on here. So if there's anything that's loose, just kind of knock it off. I could have used a darker color than this, but what I'm gonna do is go ahead and use this as the base paint, and then I'll start using a mixture of this paint and some darker paint, like maybe a darker brown, so I can start getting into the crevices. Let's start off with the base paint right here. Just make sure you cover all the corners and stuff like that. And I'm gonna do all sides. I'm not gonna just do one side. I'm gonna do all sides so I can use multiple sides to take photos with. It doesn't have to be perfect either. But just do make sure you cover all the white stuff if you're going to use foam. Oh, so this side is pretty much done. So I'm going to start flipping it to start doing the other sides. This can be messy, so my suggestion is find a corner, find an edge that you can grab onto, and don't paint that side until you're finished. So here's another little tip that you can use. You can grab a metal hanger, and not a very long one, just you can probably cut it with some wire cutters. You can bend the corners like this, and like this, then maybe bend it right here. And I'm gonna bend this up. Actually, you can probably cut this, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Give me a second. Okay, so I made this kind of handle looking thing. So what I'm gonna do is use this and flip it over, grab this, flip it over to the spot that I haven't painted yet. And since this is styrofoam, and basically any hole that I make on here, it's fine because this is supposed to be like a deteriorated, you know, really old wall. So what I'm gonna do is jam that in here so I can have a handle like just like that, and so I can get this side right here that I didn't paint, and then maybe paint some of this on this side. So just kind of a little way to make things a little easier for you so you won't get paint all over your hands, just like this. I may very well cover these holes up with some kind of spackle or something, but it makes it so that you can go ahead and paint the other side if you don't want to wait. This one's pretty much done, so what I'm going to do is set it in the sun over there so it can start drying up.